You gonna do the intro, right?
We on?
Yeah, you on?
Welcome to the Woman to Woman show. We had a few technical difficulties. This is brought to you by the Mirror Channel Network.
Bam!
We are so happy to be with you today. We are happy for everybody to be in our live studio audience. First, we want to thank everybody for liking us on Facebook and supporting this movement, because that's what it is.
It definitely is. So it's so many people to thank, and I hope everybody is still tuning in. I know we had like a half an hour late, but hopefully everybody is still tuning in. It's so many of the people just to be able to thank our sponsor first and foremost, whatever, Ace Media. Thank you so much to Andrea. We appreciate you so much. We want to be able to thank Kenneth Newsom and his team or whatever for putting the music together. Cobblestone Media, of course, my other half, for making all of this possible. All our technicians and everybody for really making this all come together. Because it's just, it's been truly
A work in progress.
a work in progress
And a movement.
A movement.
Yes.
So,
Oh, we have to thank the Movement Magazine on that note. Audrey Egypt Blanc for all your support. So we should get right into what this is about.
right. So Trey and I came together this time last year, and it just pretty much started with a conversation. And like, we want to welcome everybody every week to come into our living room.
Yes.
The Woman to Woman show living room. It's real comfortable. It's not a situation. We want you to feel as if we sitting in the living room with you right now, or in your bed, or wherever you are. That's pretty much what it's all about. But through the conversation, there were so many similarities.
Yes.
Just in a journey that we've gone through, and one of the combining factors of what we talk about is the fact that women need to be held accountable for the choices that they're making.
Yes.
So
We want to stop blaming men for everything. We get it, and we say this all the time to each other because we get a lot of inboxes, a lot of text messages, a lot of Mona inboxes saying, you guys are letting the men off the hook. We already know all the sayings that men are dogs, men cheat, men do this, men do that. Our point is, if they're cheating and they're dogs, who are they doing it with? So we have to be our sister's keeper, and we have to stop sleeping around with each other's men, and we have to protect each other's relationships and reputations. And wives at home, from another angle, you have to say to yourself, and we have to bring to your attention, what is it that you used to do that your man only had eyes for you? Have you stopped sleeping with him like you used to? And this is a grown-up show, so we're going to be real grown-up here. Have you stopped sleeping with your man like you used to? Have you stopped doing the tricks in the bedroom that you used to do? Have you stopped spending time with him? Have you stopped playing video games with him? Because if your man enjoys playing video games and you don't play with him, there's going to be another chick that's waiting at will. So you have to guard your home. I would say something, but I'm going to keep that to myself till next week. But you have to guard your home from these women who, because there are some women out here who like married men because something in them, and Ronise will get into that because she's a therapist, there's something in them that makes them go to a man that's already connected to somebody because they don't think they're worthy or...
Right. So even, they're not fly. I'm just trying to say that. So if nothing else or whatever, as we go through this whole process, and again, another thing that we talk about, women that are willing to accept somebody, because you're willing to accept the love that's not yours. And everybody says, you're either emotionally damaged, you're physically damaged, you're hurt. I say it all the time, hurt women.
Yes. 9
times out of 10 or whatever, if you're healed, you can heal another woman. If you feel powerful, you're empowering. But if you are accountable, you'll trust your decisions. And a lot of times is that we're looking for somebody else to fill a gap for us.
Yes.
And so we'll do certain things and we'll accept certain things, but we only accept the love that we deserve. So one of the things or whatever that we'll talk about over our first season is 13 weeks. Ooh. So we look forward to seeing you guys for the next 13 weeks.
I'm sorry.
At least for season 1.
Yes.
Season 2, we're going to come back and do something a whole bigger than this. But nonetheless, when you think about why would a woman accept a man?
Saying, my wife is tripping, I can't come out tonight. And she get mad at his wife. You got to think about that.
Why she won't let him come outside?
Yeah, why she wants to let his wife is tripping. Like, I had a friend say that to me, his wife is tripping. And then it made me think, because I've been in a situation, so I'm not judging her. I've been her. I've been with somebody's husband before, and I'm not here to hide anything from anybody. But now I've learned to make better choices, so that's why I'm here. So if there's a mistress out there that's listening and you feel like I'm judging you, I'm not judging you. And if there's a wife out there that's been cheated on, I've been cheated on. So I've been on both sides of the fence. So I come to you to tell you that there are ways to, we can't say avoid your husband or your man cheating, but there are ways that you can try to prevent these things from happening to you. And a lot of times women say, He cheated because he wanted to cheat, and he did this and he did that. But we all have onus and a part in our relationships. If I have a relationship with Ronise, if I'm doing something that's not pleasing to her after we're friends, then it's going to change the dynamic of our relationship. She may not want to hang out with me anymore. It's the same thing with your man. If you're doing something that's not pleasing to him anymore, or you're treating him different, he may not want to hang out with you anymore. He may be running from home.
Mm-hmm. Well, since you've touched on it, Trey, let's go or whatever, because again, the show is not about us judging you.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're going to start to talk about, and so that you can understand where we come from. This is what this show is all about today. Is just so you can get a little bit of insight on us. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our stories and things like that. And then that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable when we have you come in. You'll see our guests and all the other stuff as well too. So let's
Shout
talk
out to
about
the guests in the living room.
Let's talk about that just a little bit, Trey. When you say share your story just a little bit so they can get a little bit of understanding.
Okay.
So it's not a judgment, so they'll understand you're not coming from a judgmental perspective.
Okay, so from both ends of the spectrum, I was with somebody's husband. I left my marriage for someone else, and he left his wife for me. And there's been a lot of ups and downs in that. We got to a point now where it has worked out. But all the things that went on along the way, there was a lot of terrible things that went on. There were a lot of things that affected the kids. And then I was in a relationship where I was also cheated on, where I was hurt, where I was sick. It was like, I know we've all seen it.
But you were cheating on by who though?
By the man who left his wife.
Okay.
So
So I just want to make that clear. So
yeah,
if
he'll cheat with you, he'll cheat on you. So all of that stuff is true. And a lot of people, a lot of women, we've seen our sisters hurt. We've seen our mother hurt. We've seen the effects of cheating. It was like I had a cancer. I couldn't get up. I couldn't call people on the phone. I was hiding out. I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't eat. I couldn't function to take care of my children. So that's why I say to these women who are sleeping with somebody else's men, you're damaging another woman. As much as you don't know it, you're damaging another woman, and you're damaging her children, and you're damaging their cousins, and you're damaging that girl's mother, because her mother has to see her suffer. Her father has to see her suffer. So there's a lot of things that trickle down that you, as somebody who's sleeping with somebody and having a good time with him, you don't know the things that are going on in that home when that child is crying to his mother like, where's daddy? And she has to explain something that she really can't explain. You don't understand when she's crying to her mom and her mother is dying inside. So I've been there and I've been hurt that way. And it was people that I couldn't talk to. And then there were people who were damaged on account of some of the things I've done. My ex-husband's nieces, nephews, they were my nieces and nephews. And for me to just disappear out of the picture on them, they didn't understand what was going on. They were just small children who actually missed somebody. They didn't look at me as auntie-in-law. They looked at me as auntie. So for me to cause that damage on 2 families, on 4 families, his, mine, hers, and his. So, you have to think about these things. And like I said, I'm never here to judge anybody because I've been on a bumpy road, but I've learned from it and I'm better now. I'm making better choices. I know that there are women out here who can make better choices based on the things that I've been through. So I'm here to share my testimony with you. I have nothing to hide. You can ask me questions in the chat. You can tell me how you feel about what I've done. You can tell me whatever you want. So like I said, I'm here because my testimony is a testament to somebody, to help somebody grow, to help them feel like I'm not the only one that's going there. I'm not the only one that's been there. This is not only happening to me.
So I know last week, thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
It's so funny to sit here whenever do this because we just ain't got really a lot of good sense or whatever. Y'all know I'm trying to be serious, right? Y'all know I'm trying to be serious because y'all know I don't do all this kind of stuff. I'll be serious with you. So this is not a session because you got a billable hour.
Oh, you ain't with me. See, that's
It's a
the one thing
billable
about
hour.
working with her. I get free hours. Psych.
Woo!
Tell us a little bit.
So, last week, before we get to
Okay.
it or whatever. So last week, one of the things that we were talking about was how there would be times when he would be on the phone and, and talk to and you stand over there being quiet, right?
Yes.
So he like, yeah, babe, he all booed up and everything else, but it was like a learned behavior, like, okay, well, he on the phone with her, so I can't talk right now. Like, go into that a little bit, because
Okay.
Sometimes, again,
So,
it talks about
this is
who you
so-
saw yourself as. and
Yeah,
being
this is for
comfortable
all the
being.
women out there. Like when I say a woman says his wife is tripping, she won't let him come out or whatever. If you have to, when your man phone rings and you have to be quiet, there's a problem. You know, the phone ring and you like automatically, he don't even have to tell you to shush. Automatically you become trained to shush. So it's like the phone ring, he like, it's her. You like, now I understand, like, why would I even put myself in that position where I would have to be shushed? Because now I know that if I have to be shushed, that something is wrong. But when you're in the moment, you don't realize that you really are being selfish, and a lot of times we just want what we want. But I'm telling you, if you have to shush, something wrong. Don't be shushing. If it don't make sense, it's a lie.
So, the other thing too that so in talking about all this, whatever you said, you know, dynamics have changed.
Yes.
And so the other part too is that oftentimes it's always a thought, if you're the side chick, you don't become the main chick.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that too.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
let's talk
sometimes
about
it
that.
happens.
Yeah.
I forget the stars. You know, I watch TV, but like the Love and Hip Hop. Which girl was it?
Love and Hip Hop. Tara and, are you talking about Amina, Tara and Amina?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So she the side chick, the married chick, the white chick.
the white
Trey
chick.
calling, she'd be like, Ronnie, did you see? And I'd be like, no. And then I'm like, are you watching? She's like, girl, I don't watch that, but she watches other stuff. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. She watched Scandal. I don't.
I watch Scandal. I watch Being
Mary Jane. I'm sorry. She
And The
watched
Good Wife.
Mary Jane and
No.
The Good Wife. I used to watch The Good Wife, but then, you know what? These shows, after you've been through so much, they trigger something in you, and it's just like, why are they promoting this? This is crazy. This is what we are putting in the minds of women, that this is okay. Like, there's some women saying, I'm just saying, but there's some women saying, I am Mary Jane. Like, you good with that?
So go ahead, talk about becoming from somebody else's wife to being
Yeah.
the mistress to being
I'm
the
gonna
wife.
say this. There's no reason for any woman to sleep with anybody else's husband, period. My situation is a little bit different, and I'll get into that as the weeks go on, because I don't want to give it all to you right now, but then you won't tune in next week. But there's a lot of reasons why, you know, women sleep with somebody else's man, but it worked out. I'm not gonna say it worked out in my favor, because I would never want to say that, but it worked out in my favor. It worked out in the end. But a lot of times men don't leave their wives, and a lot of times people say to you, he ain't gonna leave his wife, he ain't gonna leave his wife. He may leave his wife, but what comes along with that is a lot. And like I said, there's some things I'm gonna talk about. If I talk about it this week, then like I said, there's a lot of things that went on with the kids, with the
And it's
exes.
still a growing process.
It's still right now a growing process after 10 years. It's still a process of growing right now. There are still things that go on that are effects of things that happened 10 years ago. So it really never ends when you steal somebody else's man, but you can't steal a person. If a man wants to go, he'll go. And I say that to say this. There's a lot of women that say he's only there because of the kids. No, if a man wants to be with you, if a man is at his house, he's there because he wants to be there with his wife. It has nothing to do with the kids. Because if he don't want to be with his wife, he's not going to be there, because he can see his kids. There are laws, visitation rights. So if he's telling you he's there to be with the kids, he's not there to be with the kids.
Okay.
Understand that.
We're gonna take a break.
We're going to take a quick break.
We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna share a little bit about me. As y'all know,
You don't
it's
get that.
always about me. It's always about me. So thank you
for
again.
tuning in.
Thank you again. You guys stay in the chat. Go in the chat. Go in the chat.
Don't judge me either.
Babe, got music playing or something?
Can y'all still see us? Can y'all still see us?
Can y'all still see us? We're supposed to be in a commercial right now. So let me talk to y'all about Ace Media Group. So
Yes.
if you can still see us.
If you can still see us. If you can still see me and you have my phone number, text me.
Okay. It's a real live show, y'all. Real
Text me
live
on the
show.
bat line. This is real live. Yes.
You said text you on the bad line.